What's up, guys? Studfit here. I'm joined by Love and BeRadGeeYo. What's going on, BeRad?
Hello, how are you guys doing? I'm doing quite well.
Fantastic. Yeah, man. It's good to be able to do this. This is our second episode of inventory inspection. And just to let you know, we had a little contest going into this Doctor Fest where we knew that Bowser and Dr. Peach were gonna get their Doctor Alts, and we weren't sure what skill they were gonna have. So we put it out, and everyone who won got to either join for Kart Talk or have us do this inspection, inventory inspection. Frenzy fans also chose an inventory, so that'll be episode 3. So look out for that. But we've had a lot of contests, and Brad's won a lot of them. What'd you win? You won March Madness. I think you won Mario Party. Am I missing anything else? You've been a winner on the Discord.
Got the combo. I did get the combo.
Yes,
coming
the action.
Coming in with number 5. Give me another one.
He's been a champ all around, so this is well deserved, and so excited to do this. And I think you have an interesting account. I'll go ahead and foreshadow a little bit and spoil a tad. He likes Yoshis. So if you're a Yoshi fan, you'll really enjoy this specific episode. But B-Rad, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started in the game, and people can get nice and cozy getting to know you.
Yeah, absolutely. So I started with Super Mario Kart way back when. I'm just someone that grew up with the series, always played it, always loved it. Every single game, all the way up to, Mario Kart Tour. I started it when it first came out. I played it for like a month or two. I just didn't stay with it. It just didn't click with me. I was having more fun with Mario Kart 8. The combo system, I don't know, it wasn't clicking for me. And I was playing Mario Kart 8 for quite a few years, and we never got anything new. So I was like, I'm going back to Mario Kart Tour, and it clicked. And I was like, oh, this is fun. So I came back 2021 because I got the glider for that one. That was my first one back. And I got Party Time Pauline, which, she taught me the coin box ways. So I'm always appreciative of her. But yeah, I played all year. Finally got my first top 1000 badge for the Gold Yoshi Tour, or what Yoshi Tour, whatever it was. I forget now. Thank you. It was nice that they gave me so many extra tickets right before a gold coin box Yoshi came out. So thanks, Nintendo, you hooked me up. But yeah, ever since then, just kind of cruising right now. So I got hit. Level 6 seemed like a lot, and then level 7 came out. And I was like, I don't really care about level 7. So my plan last year really was level 6 double uncap. That I'm done with that character for quite a bit. Now level 8's out. So I'm kind of like trying to figure out, I'm like in this weird place, and for more reference, I just got to tier 70 and level 150 last tour. Wow. So I'm kind of like, if you could kind of think of where I was when you hit that point, that's kind of where I'm at right now. And I'm starting to invest a little bit more because these level 8 courses, some of them really do help. But I'm really focusing more, like, as you could see, I'm a big Yoshi guy, focusing on what I like ultimately. I just have more fun doing that, obviously investing in some that, take care of coverage and stuff. But I'm just rolling with the punches and seeing what happens.
Yeah, no, I actually, a lot of your account is aligned with the meta, and there are a couple adjustments you have. I think you have like the cheership really high and some other ones in there. But,
I had a lot of fun for Christmas.
Yeah, well, I think in this game, especially this year, I've been pretty vocal about, like, pick your pillar. Find what you really enjoy about the game, build that pillar up, and then build around it, and use the meta to kind of fill in your gaps and. You have some consistent themes here between these turbo Yoshis. You like 8-bit items, but I mean everything else. Really good job of building out the account. But I've always kind of said a whale they're just ahead of you. They're just, that's all it is. Like, they're just in front. You're gonna experience what they're experiencing now. Later down the line. So I will say it'll be exciting to go through this account. And we also have Antilev. Welcome, Antilev. Sorry we were ignoring you so far.
Not at all. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Well, Antilev's going to steal the show here in a second, but go ahead and share your screen. I'll kind of walk through what we're going to be talking about today. Essentially, this series was created in order to kind of take a look at someone's account and identify where some strengths are and where there might be some gaps for opportunity. And I think particularly pointing at where one investment might be able to help in multiple areas around around Mario Kart Tour and being able to provide as much coverage for as little investment. So best bang for your buck. And really that's the goal of this segment, and we'll kind of go through all of that together. We'll first walk through what this sheet is. There's a link in the description to this sheet. You fill it out, and then actually in subsequent tours you can just update it, and it's very, very easy. And then you can actually copy this. There's a tab that you can copy and paste into the DKR.
This tab.
Yeah, the DKR spreadsheet. So this is ready for if you're ready to do all cup ranking. Antelev's built this so that you can basically copy and paste into DKR.exe's ACR all cup ranking spreadsheet. So it's a beautiful sheet. I think we've seen a lot of different sheets in the community. This one is near and dear to the Stud fam's heart here on the Studfit channel. So we're pretty excited to get into it. But that's pretty self-explanatory. Let's get into the drivers tab and kind of walk through what Brad did prior to us recording. So along the top, you see level base, and this is where driver for driver, he puts in the level. So you see like this magenta color, that's level 7. So you can real quickly see where his levels are. Now, of course, we have normals and then supers. And then as we go farther down to the right, these are all of his high ends. And you can kind of see one of the things I want to point out. There's, I think it's row 17 for those at home. You see, these are his unique, courses of best drivers. So you can see right away which ones are glowing in green. There's going to be his, just high level, going to be his best option. So you can see, I think it's row 5 there, the level base. Let's say for Pink Gold Peach, he has that at level 7. If he were to move that to 8, he could see right off the bat how many tracks that would move up. It would only give him 1 track. So that's like a manual way to do it. But we have Antelev. We don't have to do things. We have the genius, the prodigy, to be able to help us kind of take a better look at things. But if you're wanting to do this sheet and you just want to do something on your own, that would be my best recommendation, is just kind of fill it out with the levels. Right below the levels are the point capped here, and you kind of put in if it's single capped, second capped, or 3 capped, or as I've been saying, triple slapped. You can just put those levels on there, and then you can say, I want to think about double capping. I want to think about triple uncapping. What would that look like? How many tracks would that give me? And so that's the way you can do it at home. But for us today, I'll turn things over to Antelev to kind of take a look at where some of Brad's strengths are, and where some couple investments here or there might be able to give him some really good advantages in the game.
Yeah, so I think we're looking at the drivers first, and I think the first thing we need to do is just get a realistic assessment of where the account is right now. You see there are a couple of level 7 high ends, Pink Gold Peach, Black Yoshi, Yoshi Kangaroo. This account owner is clearly a big Yoshi fan, and we got Yoshi Gold Egg, who's totally maxed out, which is a good decision. I like that one. And then we've got some other good plus skill drivers here, which are level 6 and 1190 base points. Also all good drivers and plus skills. So we're really going to look from a sort of like all cup ranking or all round perspective. Hey, what can we invest in for this account that's going to give you the most efficiency, the most upgrades? So, one thing we said before, if you take Pink Gold Peach from 7 to level 8, this number goes from 16 to 17. You only get 1 track where you use her on, but all the other 16 tracks where she's already your best option, you get an upgrade on those as well. So it is an upgrade on 17 tracks by leveling her up once, for example. So it's definitely useful to do that, but level 7 to 8 is a lot of tickets, so we're probably not going to be like looking that far. You see these numbers down here. This is the adjusted level. That is what we use to be able to compare drivers or items of different level with different base points. So like a level 8 super who's triple capped is roughly equivalent to a level 7 high end, which is double capped, which is crazy, but it's true. And we use these sort of rankings here to decide what's what. So you can see if you go over here, every track has the ranking of the highest score drivers. So Bowser's Castle, we got a 95, which is really high. I think 96 is the highest. So this is Yoshi Kangaroo, who's level 7 and triple cap. So if he was level 8 triple cap, I think that would go to 96, and that's the highest rating we have here. So what we're going to do is we're going to ignore all the tracks where we already have something really good. So I'm going to cut out everything that's already 96 and 95. So that'll get rid of Gold Yoshi and Yoshi Kangaroo.
And so explain that. So there's a filter that you're selecting, right?
So this row on top is you can filter for anything, So like you can filter just for the pure level if you want to see what the level is. You can filter all the tracks of a given driver. Say you want to see what tracks does Yellow Pit Toad have. You just unselect his blanks and hit OK, and it will just filter to only the tracks that he has. Put these back so you can see all of them. So yeah, this is basically the track selection of Yellow Toad Pit Crew. This on the left is a filter for the type of track. So I always keep cities filtered out because for investment purposes, cities are not really important because they don't come back very much. So yeah, what I like to do is I like to start from getting rid of the most valuable tracks to see what, because you don't want to upgrade tracks where you have good coverage already. So we'll look at these. And then there's one thing which makes my sheet a little bit different than the other sheets. There is all the way at the bottom, sorry, I hope it don't make me dizzy. There's a dynamic count here at the bottom, which will count the number of top shelves for each item based on what you filter. So you can filter everything there. So you can see which are the items. So like Penguin Luigi, he's got 20 of those tracks at level 8 that don't overlap with what you already have, a level 7 triple capped or a level 8 triple capped. Peach Explorer's got 24 tracks out of her. So and then exactly. But and then we've got this tab which puts those in a pivot table and ranks them from least to worst. So let's hide this one because this is only including the cup boosts from the current level. So you can see your excluding those two, your two drivers which would give you the most upgrades if you would level them up to a decent level is Peach Explorer and Tanuki Rosalina with this number of tracks, all their unlocks. Now Peach Explorer I wouldn't necessarily invest in because you have her only level 1. I also filtered here out all the drivers you don't have, but Tanuki Rosalina you already have at level 6 and I think single capped. So I think she doesn't have a plus skill, but she has a lot of tracks, so I think it might make a lot of sense for you to just at least double cap her, even if you don't plan on leveling her up more, because you will be using her a lot, I feel like, and I don't very often give like recommendations to invest hard in non-plus skill drivers because they always get like, in the long run, their tracks get taken over by drivers with good skills. But in this case, you already have her level 6. So I think it's definitely worth a double cap since you have her single capped already. If you go a little bit down, you see you have Meowser, who's level 6, and you have him double capped already. So he would give you 19 tracks that are not overlapping with your good high level 7, level 8 triple capped drivers. So he would definitely be my number one focus for a coin box driver to invest in. I would think about triple capping him, maybe taking him to level 7. You can go a little bit further down. You've also got Nabbit, you've got Charging Chuck, you've got Mario Tuxedo, you've got Kamek. These are all like decent options. But let's go back to the drivers tab. And I think, you could take those 4 drivers, Nabbit, Charging Chuck, Tuxedo, and Kamek, and based on like who's in ranked, you could invest in any of them. I think it would be fine. But let's narrow the filtering down and like take it down to some of your weaker tracks. So like 92.5 is the level 6 double cap coin box. So let's drop those. And actually let's drop all of these as well. Let's see, what is 88 actually? 88 is oh no, that's the level 6 double cap. So yeah, let's drop that and see what helps you most on the weak tracks, the weaker tracks. Sorry, not used to using it all zoomed in. Okay,
it's really zoomed in so you can see at home, but
yeah, exactly.
I'm sure like Antelope has like a whole wall-sized screen at his home.
I do. So there's 96 tracks left out of the 200 non-cities where you don't have a driver that's at that level, level 6 and double capped with a with a coin box or boomerang. So that's also already really good coverage. And if we look here, who you have here, yeah, Tanuki Rosalina is still like top of the pile. So I would definitely consider. She still gives you 20 tracks, even if you remove all of those Meowser, Kamek, King Bob on Gold tracks. She's definitely worth double capping at least. Going like a little bit further.
Yeah, I think one that might stand out might be that white Yoshi too. Just because BeRad loves some Yoshi.
Yeah, he's an option.
And it's been kind of difficult to figure out because like I always look at some of these characters and I'm like, there's white Yoshi, there's Kamek, I love me charging Chuck. And now they're all in the ACR or the all clear pipe. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, do I invest in tickets? Because I sometimes get them, but at the same time, I could never see them because there's so much stuff now. So this is nice to see kind of exactly where, like, if I had to pick one, because I'm going to base it off of rank 2, ultimately is what it comes down to. But yeah, it lines up with what I was thinking, but it's nice to see exactly, where I should really aim for.
Sure, and what you can also do with this sheet is you can also look, if you're considering a specific driver, you can look exactly what tracks they give you and how big of an upgrade. One thing I noticed when I was looking is a little bit down the list, but Santa Bowser, you have at level 3. He gives you 11 upgrades based on this filtering, but if you look at his actual tracks, where are you? Here. These tracks are all, they don't have a really like high level driver on them except for Frappe Snowland. So he's giving you an upgrade. If you bring him to level 6 and double cap him, that would give you like the 88 rating like the other ones. So that is 11 tracks and only one of them you already have. So even bringing him to like level 5 and double capping, like I don't know what your situation is with cap tickets or whatever, but let's just say
I have 4 character and 12 uncapped, so I'm saving, so I have a little bit. He was going to be my next one because Bowser Castle 2R's in rank this week. I've already conceded defeat. I'm going down. Because at least 7 people have him at level 7 or 8 and they're all triple uncapped and I don't have the funds this time.
Okay, for sure.
He was the next one where I was like, I'm just going to get hit randomly with him, so I need to invest in him.
That's totally understandable. No, but you see, if you would bring him to level 5, he's already your best option at a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's 6 cap tickets and 4 level tickets that you'd then get like a pretty decent level coin box driver on. And then at level 6, he gets this upgrade on Shy Guy Bazaar RT, where your current best driver is Pauline Party Time, which is not bad. So it's not essential.
That happens a lot.
It's okay.
Wouldn't be the first time.
I know.
I'm saying that's a driver where you could kind of bring up and it would give you like a lot of tickets from a coin box perspective. We're talking meta here. We're talking about the drivers, the plus skills, but I mean, yeah. Okay, and so lastly, let's then indeed look at White Yoshi and see what tracks he has. But yeah, so my initial recommendation for this account would be triple cap Meowser when you get the tickets, and maybe double cap Tanuki Rosalina. Maybe Meowser you can level up to level 7, and then those other 4 drivers, Nabbit, Charging Chuck, Kamek, and Mario Tuxedo, you can look at when they're in ranked. Maybe you want to give them a little bit of love. So here we see he has a lot of coin box tracks already. See, this is 13 tracks, which he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The green one means there's a coin box driver, and 9 of those 13s are already covered by a coin box driver. So you could invest in him and bring him to like level 6, maybe like double cap him or whatever, but in the long run it's probably not going to be a very efficient investment because most of his tracks are going to get taken over. He would be an immediate upgrade, I would say, on these 5 tracks, maybe this one as well.
I feel like we haven't seen Royal Raceway RT though in a while. They could add
it's been a while,
driver to it when it comes back.
I think it's a good chance that Pink Ninja will get him because there's already a super banana driver there, giant banana driver there. So White Yoshi, you could take him to level 6. I wouldn't necessarily like double cap him, whatever. But if you get, if he's in like the tier shop or whatever, if you get him from like a random pull, maybe add like 1 or 2 extra tickets.
He's been sitting at 5, 2, 3 for about 6 months now, and I got him a lot up before, and then it's one of those things. I never saw him again, but I'm like, I know the moment I put a ticket on him, he's coming up.
Yeah, sure. So if you use that ticket, he's then your best on 6 tracks. Whereas now he's your best on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tracks. So it will give you an upgrade on 6 tracks, but it's only 1 ticket, so it's maybe worth it in the short term. Just don't consider that as a long-term investment. Right. Okay, shall we move on to the karts and gliders then?
Actually, before we do you mind looking at the items he does not have and which ones would be the most valuable?
Yes, let's do that.
That's while we're on the topic of drivers.
Sure, and then let's also get Nabbit out of there. Because you really want to look at what you have like really weak coverage on. Maybe even these triple, or you can get a triple capped super. We can get rid of those too. Yeah. So this is filtered now for, see this column here, the sum of level. That is filtered for the items you have. If you change in the filter the level, instead of unticking the 0, you select only the 0. You get the tracks that I have. So yeah, Shy Guy Ninja, which is not a surprise at all. He's very valuable for ACR for every account. Almost doesn't have a ton of overlap with a lot of the meta.
He always comes back around the Yoshi tour, so
sure.
He's the one that I've always wanted. But like, just
can't prioritize.
You got to make sacrifices.
Yeah. You're a little short on rubies around that time.
Yeah.
And then also with 12 tracks, you got the Marius Teleview, who's I recommend him on so many accounts because he has so many good non-coin box tracks. For me, he's still, I think, the best Lucky 7 driver. In terms of like an account building perspective, he's not as new as Charging Chuck, but Charging Chuck has a lot of overlaps with Coinbox and other political drivers, which Marius Teleview doesn't have. So yeah, those are probably the 2 drivers I would be looking for as far as drivers you don't own to look to add to your account.
I have to ask Nintendo hire you because there's a $40 pack with Mario Teleview.
Oh, is there seriously?
Yeah.
Week 1 pack.
Those Mario Party funds are coming in clutch, Studfit.
There you go. Cool. And I know I wasn't sure if you wanted to pull up just to show people at home the tier list.
Yeah, sure.
The top 10.
So we got the tier list. This kind of just gives you a breakdown of what are your best accounts. So obviously Yoshi Kangaroo with his like huge number of tracks, level 7 and triple cap. You see Gold Yoshi, he's only number 9, but it's because he's pretty new and he doesn't have that many tracks yet. Once he gets once he's seen everything, I'm sure he'll move up to number 1. But you can see really here, Tanuki Rosaline, even though she doesn't have a plus scale and she's only single cap, she's still number 6 on the list, which just shows like how valuable she is purely from a coverage perspective.
What I like about this is when you look at that list, I mean, those are some of our top 10 drivers that we've seen for the last 6 months.
And look here, this is your top 10 unowned drivers, and look who's 2 top of the list.
Yeah. Oh, lots of Mario too, huh? Mario.
Tanuki Mario, yeah. Okay, I mean, like, these are not high ranked. That means you have a pretty well developed account. Like, if you look at my free to play account, I've got drivers who are in like the 30s and 40s being my unowned. So this is a good sign for your all around account health.
Okay, so here's my question too, because I was not planning on ever getting at least the gold suit, because I just kind of linger and if I got it, I got it. But I did get the question block one last time. So like, what is your guys' kind of thoughts with that? Because he already kind of overlaps the Yoshi Gold Egg. And it's one of those, I know if I ultimately take him the love weight and triple and cap him, he'll just be better, which is fine, but that's also a lot of tickets. So I'm just
it's a lot of tickets. It's a lot of tickets, and it's the marginal benefit of doing it is not that much. I mean, I think going really hard for the Miis is, first of all, if you have the gold suit, because he has like a pretty decent level of coverage.
Yeah.
Or if you're just really have a whale account when you're really trying to squeeze out every little potential of scoring. But I mean, I won't invest in the Coinbox Mii driver. It just, he doesn't have enough. I mean, if somehow he gets a lot of tracks later on, then I would consider it. But
yeah, because it looks like they're gonna buff him like they do the other suits, correct? Yeah. Like for the most part, like kind of on the lower end. So don't worry about it. But some happens, great. But don't. Okay.
Yeah, good question though. I think a lot of people are wondering that now.
Yeah, because I mean it's hard because we don't know. Nintendo could say screw it and give a $10 next to it, and we wouldn't. You know what I mean? They could.
Sure.
That's that. But just there's always something to think about with this game. But that's what makes it fun and interesting.
Yeah, for sure. And like for my account, I don't have. I still have Yoshi at I think level 1 or 2. So that might be a different direction. If you're like that, you might go that direction and go into the coin box head. As an alternative. Really, I think that is the deciding factor is, do you have Yoshi gold egg at a high level, yes or no? And if yes, then don't, and if no, then yes. So for those at home.
Yeah, I mean we've had so many good skill drivers come out in the last few tours. It's impossible to invest in all of them, I mean it's just you can't, so you need to make decisions, and looking at the overlaps and looking at where you can get the use your tickets most efficiently. You really need to do that now. I mean I have Yoshi Gold Egg, Vacation Luigi, the Gold Mii suit, I don't all at level 1. I don't have Samurai Mario, and I don't have the blockhead yet. So I mean, and those are all it's 5 drivers, which a lot of people are investing in. I can't.
All right, let's transition to karts, but
Sure.
Good dialogue there.
Yes, sure. So karts are looking okay. I noticed you didn't have a lot of double caps on your cards.
My cards are there's just so many cards.
There's so many cards.
Every time I start to invest in one, it's like it's gone. So, I'm going all in on the Black Turbo Yoshi right now. It's kind of my main one. I'm trying to get it to level 8 just to say I have one at level 8.
Okay,
that's my cart.
cool.
That's my go-to. That's what I'm aiming for. But other than that, I'm pretty open. Like I really like the yellow off-roader.
Yeah.
It's good, but you would have it already level 7, so that's an excellent choice.
Yeah, so took that one up, but yeah. So it's always hit or miss with some of these, And then there's the Purple Bunny. Never thought that would serve me, and let me tell you, it just made last year a breeze for me.
Oh yeah, I love Purple. I can talk for an hour on the Purple, how good the Purple Bunny is.
Yeah, I love it.
Underrated.
Yeah.
So looking at your account, it looks like you're kind of topping out for the most part at level 6 and double uncapped like 6 and 595. Okay, maybe some exceptions in like the yellow off-roader and the black Turbo Yoshi, but we're gonna target this 6 double cap, so a score of 89. So let's just get rid of everything which isn't 89 for now. And higher, of course. And what's interesting with karts and gliders is you can also get a lot of value out of supers, because now supers go up to level 8, and a level 8 triple capped super cart is roughly equal in scoring to a level 7 double capped one, which is pretty high, So it beats a 6 and doubled. So you got something like this one. That is the cucumber. You've level 7 and triple capped. The next time you have the chance to use that for ranked or whatever, I would definitely get that up to level 8. You can see here, if you put it at level 8, it takes its score to 90. And that means that it beats all your level 6 and double capped cards. So we can even assume that you would do that. I don't know what your super ticket situation is. I know it's 16.
I try. Yeah, well, yeah, they really boosted that one up, didn't they? But I try my hardest to keep like 16 as much as I can, or like a very close amount, just in the off case, because the supers, they just kind of randomly appear, at least for me, and then I'm like, well, I guess I'm throwing 16 on this one because I have to. But yeah, it doesn't. I like the supers. I'm glad they actually get used, to be honest. So
I use supers a lot too. Yeah. No, I totally agree. I use supers a lot myself, and I have a pretty well, my account is pretty high, so but I still make really good use of the supers. It allows you to avoid using high-end tickets a lot of times. Here, Blue 7, this is another one. You get 4 tracks from that one. Would consider taking that one to level 8 as well. But let's just assume for now only you take the cucumber, because it already gives you so many tracks. So let's look at the tracks without the cucumber coverage. Sorry, take that 90 out of there. Okay, and let's look here. What are your best cards? Okay, the B-Dasher Mark II, 13 tracks. The B-Dasher Mark II always also pops up because it has a lot of like older tracks, but it doesn't have much overlap with the meta cards, So there's a couple of items in the game that are like that.
This is the red one, right?
This is the
No.
OG one. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
one that, yeah.
okay.
The newer ones, none of them are really any good. But the other thing is you have it also only like level 1, so it's really hard to go into a level 1 item and bring that one like all the way up, you know. So looking at this list and looking at the levels, I would say probably the off-roader is your maybe most interesting one to get invested in, because it's you got it already level 5. Let's take a look at his tracks. And it's a big card as well. I don't know how you feel about like card size. I know, you know, a lot of people who are playing the metagame really like to only invest in big cards because it helps with like coin boxing and collecting extra coins. So
it sways me, but I think coverage for me personally is kind of what I aim for overall. But because I mean, I'm used to the purple bunny now and stuff like that, the Turbo Yoshi. So I know, you know.
You have some of the largest cards like the yellow off-roader, and also some of the smallest cards like the black Turbo.
Just depends on the mood of the day, you know.
So yeah, I mean, so for example, this one is really nice. This Choco Island, you have only like a level 2 cart right now, the Crawley cart. And if you take this one 3 tickets to levels, or maybe less, to level 6, you get this unlock. You also get this one unlock, which you don't have. It's already got 4 tracks where it's your best option. And I think if you take it then to level 6, then it becomes your best on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So and that's really nice. And then you could double cap it as well, and it becomes your best option on 10. You know, and it's the off-roader. It's a classic. So, but the other thing is, if you don't really care that much about ACR and you really only focus on ranked, you maybe want to consider not doing that, because it is an older cart. So see all these tracks. These are all old tracks. They're not like, you know, stuff which is gonna pop up and be like super paywalled, super ranked. So that is one other thing to consider. I would say from a perspective and current level point, the off-roader is probably the one I'd want to look at getting up to level 6 first, and maybe double capping. Let's go back in. So we look at some like maybe newer. Oh, sorry, I forgot to put all the tracks back on. Look at some of the like newer cards here. We've got the Grey Cat Cruiser, which unfortunately you don't have. We've got
Rumby Runners, although it's level 1.
I just the white pipe, that one we just that one, the Candlelight Flight, the wings, I finally got those, so
that's always a good one. The DK Maximum is also another older cart, but it's it is interesting. It is a big one as well, but you only have it level 2. So you know, there's the Gold Egg and the Gilded King. These are also 2 like kind of older carts where but they would add like, you know, a pretty significant amount to your account. What I think is then maybe interesting is like, let's have a look at, you know, what you see on the top here, and then let's drill down to your really weakest tracks, and see what's going to give you the best. So some of these, so everything's not equal. 67 is like a level 5 single cap. That's not actually that bad. So let's go and see what are your weakest tracks and what gives you really like the biggest benefits on these. See, you don't have a lot of tracks that have a weak loadout, only 34 to the 200s, so 17%. That's not bad. So maybe there's a cart in here which can give you like a lot of that. Like we're looking at White Bruiser, we see already that one's top on 3 of them. But let's go look over here. Okay, the Sleigh Rider, that's pretty interesting. That's a pretty new one as well, right?
You might want to, why don't you try, first of all, by seeing this list, there weren't that many that were at 0. We didn't filter it. But that's a good sign. I want to kind of point that out, because you actually have a lot of cards. Yeah. Now, once you've done the filtering, there are a lot with 0. I don't know if you want to filter them, Antelove. But the fact that before we started narrowing it down, I looked at it. There was only one that was in 0 in like the top, you know, I think 15 or so. So kudos to you in getting at least some of that coverage. I was expecting carts to be a little bit, you know, have a little bit more holes, but now that we've done the filtering, you'll see a lot more 0s. But I just thought that's a testament to you following kind of that meta strategy.
Yeah, definitely. I was surprised as well. Maybe why I forgot to filter it out, because you didn't have
it wasn't glaring.
Yeah.
Listen, I tested all the Party Time Pauline because I saw that coin box for the first time. I said, "What is this?" Then I went on YouTube and look at where we are now. So.
Nice.
Okay, so looking at these, you've got 4 carts here, which, okay, so there isn't a lot of tracks because you don't have that many tracks with like weak loadouts, but looking at Sleigh Rider, Juke Buggy, White Bruiser, and Roaring Racer. And why am I looking at these? Because these are like pretty new carts. They're going to be ranked more often. They're going to get buffs more often, like especially, you know, the Jukebox Buggy, especially the White Bruiser is going to get a lot more buffs, and these 2 are Singapore items.
The White Bruiser is what I'm aiming on right now. It saved me in Coconut Mall. It's saving me now, so I'm like probably just going to keep going. So just pushing it on up to 6 right now.
Yeah, and it's really new, so I mean, you know, we don't know. You know, I usually like to invest hard in stuff after they've seen about an item seen about like 3 or 4 tours, and I get a bit more of a picture of, you know, but that's just me personally. Some people like the early
after the Black Turbo Yoshi too, it's going to be a little bit too. So
I mean, that's, you know, that is more of an art than a science. The earlier you invest in something, the more of a risk it is, because you don't know what it's going to look like when it's fully buffed. But the earlier you invest in something, the more you're going to get to use it when it's still like, you know, in the meta and still new and still getting buffs and still being in ranked. So that is really something that is a personal call. I'm more conservative, but a lot of people I know are really love to just, you know, go all in on new items, and then they get to, you know, see every new tour, what are the buffs, and I get to use it, and they probably get more ranked use out of their items than I do.
Specifically, I would say, while we're on the topic of White Bruiser, I know that its hitbox is not huge, but I will say I'm really bullish on the White Bruiser. I personally, just this tour, took the 7 double uncapped because for me, I needed it. I did not get the question mark block in ranked, so I'm trying to go really hard this week, and it is in ranked this week. But also, you know, these items that are in special pipes, they tend to get their coverage a little earlier. They seem to get a little bit more exposure in ranked from just looking at the data. But then also, I have this hunch, and other people do too, that you know, one of a family kind of gets favored, and we've had a lot of bruisers that none of it really has been featured. So I'm banking on that. I think that you're on to something good there with White Bruiser, and if you have to take it up more levels, it's Studfit approved. Go ahead, Antelope. Sorry. Sure.
So none of these 4 carts which we're looking at are actually big ones, but you don't seem to mind that too much. So I think let's just look at these and their coverage and what they get you. So Jingle Bells. Okay, and also none of those 4 are really on the top for just like pure coverage, but that's okay. Because like we're, you know, if that's going to depend, do you want to look at older carts or newer carts? Okay, so let's start with newest to oldest. I think we were going to do the Sleigh Rider first, right? Is it an evil cart or a good cart? Sleigh Rider is a good one, right?
I think so. It's
back here, yeah. Right, it's only a level.
Those things confuse me. Ever since I saw Dixie in the villain side, I just don't understand it.
So Sleigh Rider is pretty much done. There's some RTs which I hasn't seen, I think, but so 15 tracks in total non-city, which is not that much. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of those 15 already have like something really good which you're not really looking to improve. One of them is a level 6 unlock, Choco Island 2. You do have some pretty weak tracks in these 2 Choco Islands. It's okay. I don't know. I don't think it would be my first pick, also considering that you have it at level 1. And then next we had the Roaring Racer, which you've already got single capped.
Have you used that a lot for ranked, I assume?
So I just really like the cart. It's the first time I really pulled on a pipe for the cart. But we get so many of them that it's just, the tickets just haven't been there when I needed it, and you know, it just went to other things. But I'm trying, but tickets are scarce, man.
It's a cool looking cart. It's a cool looking cart.
I wish it was bigger though, I will say that one.
Yeah.
Just for the aesthetic, I wish it was like,
we all got kind of duped with that one,
yeah, right?
Okay, so Roaring Racer, 17 non-city tracks. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 that you already have a good coverage. This one is assuming you get that cucumber up. So on the 8 tracks where it would give you an upgrade if you would invest into it, we're just targeting level 6 and double cap. It's got some nice ones. It's got coconut malt tea, Koopa Cape tea, mushroom gorge. So 3, those are the 3 really new tracks. Then it's also got some older ones: Luigi's Mansions, Rock Rock Mountains, Dino Dino Jungle. This one's better, I would say. If I had to pick between that and Sleigh Rider, I would definitely pick this one. And we got the Jukebox Buggy, which is one of the better carts in one of the more meta carts right now. 24 non-city tracks, which is absolutely crazy. That's nice because if you take it up, you can continue to invest in it to triple cap, level 7, level 8, whatever, and it will outpace all of these other ones, even though you take it up. So this one, okay, we've got, you already have a lot of these tracks covered. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 of the 24. So it's going to give you an upgrade on 9. But again, you could take this to, like say you went really hard on it, you took it to level 7 and triple capped it. I think it's then your best option on every single track. That's 24 upgrades. Okay, we're not the level 8 unlock, of course, but so 23 upgrades then. So that is an amazing card for your account. Even if you only take it to level 6 and double cap, you still can be using it on. Sorry, this sheet always takes some time to recalculate. You still be using it on 18 tracks, So
it's a cool card too.
It's a really
the
cool
one I bought,
card.
so
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, right.
So that one looks like a pretty nice option to invest in. To bring one up to like level 6. Okay, and then what was the last one again? That was the.
Well, we brought up the White Bruiser. It may not.
The White Bruiser, exactly. The White Bruiser. The White Bruiser is still pretty new, so it's not going to have that many tracks yet. But that's where it comes into the whole, are you gambling or whatever. Okay, so we're at 10 tracks, but you can see already that it's your best option on these. If you get it to level 6, it'll give you an unlock here on RMX Rainbow Road 2R, which is a really nice one. That's a surprisingly tough track to cover for carts. Rosalina's Ice World T, also another nice level 6 unlock. And these 3 tracks are very new and very paywalled. So I can see why you did it. This one is a kind of like incomplete grade, so I would say, yeah, if you plan on getting it up, that's fine. But I mean, you can also take a little bit of a wait and see approach. Use it as it is now. If it's in ranked again and you want to just bring it up 1 level next time it's in ranked, and then the next time it's ranked after that, I'd say it's worth it. I can't really give a recommendation on a cart that's so new, just because it's I'd be guessing about what it's going to end up like at the end of its buffs. I don't know. So I mean, like for me, my pick I think it's pretty clear the Jukebox Buggy is a really interesting card for your account overall. If you're talking about investing in something that's new, meta, and is going to be in ranked more often, otherwise I would also still focus on maybe getting that off-roader up to level 6 and double capped as well. Yeah, and then the cucumber to level 7 and triple capped, or just triple capped.
And then
level 8 rather.
Yeah. Solid investments. Great, helpful there. You want to look at his top 10 unowned items?
Let's do that.
Just in case they come up in a pipe in the next couple of tours. I know we've filtered 20 different settings, so it's
okay.
Tough to get it back. The tier list might be.
Here, so the Grey Cat Cruiser, which is not a surprise. The Grey Cat Cruiser is kind of like the modern day, the 2022 version of the Purple Bunny. It's just its coverage just fits so well with the meta carts. It doesn't overlap with anything. There's a couple of new ones here. We've seen Armored Rider. We've seen some people, White Snow Skimmer, Tanuki Cart. There's some Silver King. There's some good carts on here for sure. These are definitely the ones you want to be looking out for. Should we look at the tier list as well?
I mean, you did a good job of highlighting it. You don't have to.
Okay. So let's move over to the gliders. The gliders are actually going to be the easiest, and we can get through these, I think, pretty quickly. So gliders, your coverage is very good. Oh, sorry.
Really good coverage.
Yeah. Again, we're going to be looking at level 6 and double caps for the max. You can see where you have some nice items at that level. You've got this cloud one. I guess you did that one probably for the shop.
I'm a fan of Dr. Mario, so when I got the pink one, but I got the magnifying glass glider, and I was like, well, taking it up.
I saw that.
Yeah, just one of my favorites. It just happened.
Okay.
Probably as far as I'll go for a while, unless it becomes number one or something. But I don't think. Don't know.
So,
just woke up and it happened.
So we'll look at the all-around coverage. What you done? So okay, let's.
Yeah, well, he's pulling that up. I really liked the coverage you have for gliders. The things like Strawberry Donut, things like Silver Star Shoot, things Dry Bowser Umbrella. Like these are the things that we've been talking about all year. So it to me it seems like with the drivers and karts, you get a little emotional. Yeah, you go with the Yoshi stuff, but like the gliders, you stick to the meta. Except for this pink magnifying glass, you definitely have a lot of heart to that.
Yeah, and I really like. I went with the 8-bit gliders in the beginning. I really like those. So I was kind of going
those
in on
really
those.
Good.
Yeah, so I just kind of also looked out with some of them, but I'll take it. There's less compared to the parts by a significant amount, so it's a little easier.
A little bit easier with the gliders because there's less of them and they cover more. So you have 58 of the 200 non-city tracks you have already covered by a level 6 double capped or better, so that's really good. So you're looking at like more than 70% coverage at your like target level. So here is the coverage on the ones where you don't have it. So like pretty clear Golden Wings needs to be your next investment. It's got the most tracks for you, and you already have it level 5. The next one that you have at a similar level is Record Setter with 4 less tracks. So what I'm gonna do, because this is like such an obvious must invest, I'm just gonna assume that you're gonna do that. You even have it already double capped, so let's just take this one to 6 and get rid of those tracks. So that'll add 13. So then you only have 45 tracks which you need to cover. And let's look again what you're going to do after Golden Wings. And this is where it gets like a little bit tricky. I actually like the Strawberry Donut here. You have it already level 6. You could just double cap it. And then it will also kind of cover a further 8 tracks without having to use any level tickets. You could also consider the Record Setter because it gives you 9 tracks. And your
that's one I've been like slowly pushing for, and like whenever it pops up and I need it, I have like 2 tickets or something. So it's slowly but surely that one's getting there.
Yeah. And then when we talk about uncapping these things, you like the thing is like taking the 6 and double uncapping it will give you 9 tracks, but if you triple cap one of your already level 6 items, it will probably give you like 20 something tracks. So let's actually go back and take all the filters off for the stuff that you don't have like at a super high level. So let's put all of your level 6 double caps and see, hey, maybe which one of these do I want to eventually triple cap. Level 90 is the level 8 and triple cap super glider. So the only one I'm going to leave out is that 94 is that cloud glider, which you got at level 8, which I think you probably want to triple cap anyways. But so then we can look here and we can see what you already have. Like Golden Wings already. I think that might even be your first triple cap. 8-bit Bullet Bill is really good as well. I don't know if you have that already double capped. I guess you do. Yeah, that's an awesome glider as well. A lot of people don't invest in it because it has a lot of overlaps with some older meta gliders like Dry Bowser Umbrella or Dragon Wings, but you don't seem to have that issue. So then actually it would be a very good investment for you. Like Black Raid Sale as well, 8-bit Fireflower, 8-bit Super Mushroom. So I mean, sticking with the 8-bits is definitely a good strategy. I would say all 3 of these are phenomenal items, and again, you can just save up your cap tickets and look at what's going to be in ranked. And if there's a special pipe, if there's an 8-bit special pipe, go for it. Get those dupes and see which one.
When it did appear, because we had one a few tours ago, I did pull on it because I was like, eventually, probably in October, I'm going to want to bump these up. So let me help myself out now.
Yeah, sure. Oh, and beyond that, there was one thing, the mushroom glider, which is actually like a super. Had like a pretty decent amount of tracks for you from what I saw, so that's the one I would say get to. Yeah, seven tracks if you upgrade it to yeah, so I would get that one to level 8 when you can, if any of its tracks are in ranked or an ACR or whatever. That would be my super one to invest in. So yeah, first do golden wings for sure, level 6. You already have a double capped. I would even considering it making your first triple cap. I think the next one to level up, I would say probably strawberry donut. Maybe Starry Great Sale, but I think Strawberry Donut fits a little bit better with the rest of your inventory.
In that one, I think I have 2 out of 5 already. They love giving us that one too.
Yeah,
somehow.
sure.
That's another one where I'm like, do I spend tickets now? You know.
Yeah. It's a gold pass gift a lot too, so you can get that one up without using tickets. So it's definitely one I would consider to double cap as well. But yeah, I mean, the gliders is pretty straightforward. I think it's like pretty clear what you need to do there. So yeah, I don't know. Do you want to see the tier list for this one, or is there anything else you wanted to see for the gliders? Maybe the best unowned ones.
Yeah, best unowned would be good. I know you've been kind of going through and kind of plug in some of these gliders in and seeing how many tracks it gives them. I wasn't sure. There were a couple that you had mentioned, potentially looking at, and I wasn't sure if you want. I think like this one that I noticed that I'd be curious to see would be the Starry Great Sale.
Yeah, sure.
Just from kind of looking at that coverage, that one stuck looked like it would give him a number of tracks that he didn't have at a high level.
Where are you, Starry? I love the Starry Great Sale.
A lot of people went heavy into it this tour. I think it was in rank, so it kind of gave people extra momentum.
I hope our top 10 list didn't have anything to do with that. Yeah, so 23 tracks. If you take it to level 6 and double caps. Well, actually, let's wait and see. So yeah, then it's your best on everything except for level that one and that one and that one. So then your best on 20 tracks. Sorry, let's take it back down and see how many tracks you already have at 89 there. Clear all. Oh, missed one. So 12 tracks, actually, that's the thing. You already have an equal, it has some overlap with what you already have. So here, hang on a sec. Let's put all these back on and we can actually look at what tracks it overlaps with. So now we have only the tracks of Starry Great Sale selected. It has 24 total non-cities at level 8. And we look at the dynamic coverage. This will show what items it has overlap with. So you can see here it's got overlap with, so it's got 5 overlaps with Golden Wings. All right, it's got 4 overlaps with 8-bit Fire Flower. It's got 3 overlaps with Pink Magnifying Glass. 2 overlaps with Strawberry Donut. So yeah, well, no, but I mean, it's important to, okay, if so, you would look at this and be like, oh, it's got 24 tracks, that's a great glider, but when you actually invest in it for your account, it's not as impressive as some of the other options that you might have. It is objectively a great glider, of course. I think it's one of the best in the games, but I would not make it like the highest priority on your account.
Another one, if you don't mind looking into Antelope while you still have all those filters on, is the Galaxy Glider.
Oh yeah, sure.
I saw that
one of your personal favorites.
It's like one of my favorites. But I noticed it was kind of high on that list, but I didn't know why. So I just figured while you kind of had some of those filters already up and running, I'd like to get your feedback.
It's okay. So 21 total non-city tracks. At level 8, already your best on 1. So we want to look at the overlap. So okay, that's the thing. It doesn't have a lot of overlap, I think, with it's
record setter though.
Linting, record setter. Let's look at the actual tracks it has first. Actually, sorry. So 1, 2, 3 already. 4. I feel like I'm too zoomed in here. I'm gonna take one step back. Sorry, that's a little better. Yeah, okay, so it has already quite some overlap with some other gliders, which you have at a high level. It's pretty decent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, so that's not bad. And if you look at the tracks, it does have, Wario Shipyard, Sky Garden R, Mushroom Gorge R, Coconut Mall T. Those are, Bowser's Castle, and those are very, very good tracks to have. They're new. We'll see them in ACR, maybe in ranked a lot. RMX Rainbow Road 2RT, but you've already got that one covered. It's okay. Well, what we can actually do is look at where you have maybe very weak coverage and see if there's a glider you can take up to like level 3 or 4, which will give you some kind of some increase. So let's just look at your only very low scoring tracks. Let's cut it off there. You don't have many, see.
Again, great job with the
exactly, only there. 10 tracks. Yeah, okay, so there's really nothing here. Like Starry Great Sail, that is a nice thing about Starry, that there's 3 tracks which you have at a pretty low level already. But that's also because it is a low level. Yeah, maybe we have to give it a little bit more, expand that a little bit more. Let's take this.
That's another one that's like never had the tickets when one of those 3 courses aren't ranked, but
yeah.
And okay, I always look at it like maybe.
This is why you saw it pretty high up the list, Galaxy Glider, because when you put it on this level of filtering, it will give you 7 upgrades. And that is actually pretty decent. But as I said, his glider coverage is so good that you don't need to have 100% coverage, perfect coverage and everything. I would be looking to strengthen for because it is the value of like 1 ticket. If you're going to take this one up to level 6 or something, you could use those tickets to improve. So you'd be improving using 7 tickets to improve 7 level tickets to improve 7 tracks. But with something else, you could be using 5 level tickets to improve like 25 tracks or whatever. So I mean, yeah, it's definitely like would be nice to get these all up a bit, but you can see here like 5 of those 7 are already level 5, so you need to definitely take it to level 6 for it to be a significant improvement. So it's that but that is definitely the reason why you saw it kind of like high up the list, maybe on the tier list.
Cool. Yeah, let's look at that tier list and then wrap up.
Sure.
BeRad, as we've discussed today, I mean, what are some major takeaways from what you've seen so far today?
I'm doing pretty well, and I'm proud of myself.
We can virtually pat you on the back. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the important part about this game, because you always like read, because I'm someone that lurks on the Reddit and stuff like that, and a lot of people really do go in on these high ends, but it's so interesting to hear more about the supers. And I really, I talked about some of the packs that I bought before, but I really don't buy packs. And I'm still able to hit the top 1,000. I did buy some before for the coverage because I'm like, oh, I won 3 items, you know what I mean? But no, I think that's important. And it's nice to see it kind of level out. And I'll have to kind of consider, I think triple uncapping. I might triple uncap the 8-bit bullet bill. It's nice to see like the top ones, and then I might just kind of single out my favorites because, that's what I like doing. But then there's some, that might pop through, like the Happy Ride was one. Never, when I first bought it, never thought I'd take it to level 6, but here we are, So.
Yeah. Cool. And then the unowned items, if they happen to come out, I thought these were really interesting. They're all like older items, New Year items, kind of covering these items. Yeah.
Oh, New Year's 2020. Oh man.
Yeah, you're kind of screwed on that one.
Yeah, that's out.
Got a couple Hanafudas in there, it looked like.
No, but again, when you see these items, they're all like pretty low ranked, which means you have like a good, I mean, if we look at like, okay, let's look at what does the New Year's 2020 actually give you, just to give you an idea of what this is saying. This one's way back here somewhere, isn't it? New Year's 2020.
I'm also happy to see too, because I was really aiming just to get the characters I wanted in carts and everything, just why not? And it looks like the only thing I'm really missing out on is Shy Guy Ninja. I think it's the new one, which I kind of knew, but what can I do about it, So that's nice to see too.
Sure. Okay, so New Year's 2020 has only 11 non-city tracks, which is not really that impressive. And out of those 11, 1, 2, 3, you already have like only 3 of them you don't have good coverage on. So when we're talking about your best unowned, this is what we're talking about. It does not add almost anything to your account. So I mean that means you're doing a good job
Okay.
in terms of glider coverage. What I like to do with this tier list sometimes is look and see if there's one that's sticking out, which is like a low level. You can see here like Golden Wings is you got all these level 6 and double cap, level 8 double cap, and then here this one's level 5 and it's all the way up at number 4. That tells me this is one I should invest in. Let's like Starry Great Sail level 4 and it's at number 12 already. Pink Gold Paper Glider number 4, 8-Bit Star, Record Setter. I mean, so these are kind of all ones we've talked about a little bit with the exception of these two. But I mean, it gives you what is already high despite being at a low level, and what gives you the kind of the most bang for your buck if you would invest in them.
Yeah, so kind of to go full circle on that ranked piece, if getting when it comes to owning it, you own just about everything you need. Which is great. So I think you just double down on the things that are really doing well for your account. Things like the Golden Wings, and really just focus in on leveling things up that are already a high level versus trying to get stuff up from level 4 to 5 to 6, etc. Cool. All right. Well, I think we've already went over a long period of time, but this was really good. Brad, I already got some of your takeaways. I think just from my perspective, some of the investment inspection recommendations would be to invest in Meowser, Santa Bowser not far behind. When it comes to carts, the Jukebox Buggy sticks out the most. Off-Roader up there. A couple supers in there. We're talking about Cucumber, etc. Who knows, maybe even the White Bruiser if you're feeling frisky. And then moving into gliders, Golden Wings, by far the number one recommendation. Got the Mushroom Glider, that super in there. And then looks like the Strawberry Donut up there as well.
Yeah.
So, BeRad, what'd you think? What was your, was this a fun experience?
Yeah, this is great. I hope I win something again in 6 months so we can redo it and I can see where I'm at.
Yeah, cool.
That's the greatest. This is like a snapshot in a moment of time on this timeline. So things could change as new tracks are released and as the game evolves, and as we constantly try to keep up with everything that Nintendo keeps giving us when it comes to these new bring back these retro tracks, etc. So, BeRad, thank you so much for joining us. The Antliv, as always, thank you so much for the knowledge and expertise you bring to the table. And if you have any comments, let us know in those comments. Let us know the feedback of what you liked about this episode, and what if you'd like to see more of this type of content. So thank you guys so much for joining us, and we'll probably see you on Kart Talk, or if worst case scenario, the rundown here in a couple in less than a week now. So thanks, guys. Have a great day.
Bye. Bye.
May the friends of luck be with you.